I'll be resigning from office with my last day being January 5th, 2026.
Is a complete betrayal.
I think your fake eyelashes are messing up.
No, ain't nothing.
Hold on.
Listen. Oh, girl, baby girl.
Nobody wants this drama right now.
You see, I have never valued power, titles, or attention.
It's a lie.
Somebody's bleach blonde, bad built butch body.
This is basically a warning.
So absurd and completely unserious.
Honestly, guys, this is a little unexpected. So Marjorie Taylor Greene has decided to resign from Congress, not effective immediately. But almost. I mean, it's about a month and some change away. She says she's resigning on January 5th. So before we get into people roasting her for this, I want to show you a little bit of what she had to say. By the way, guys, there's a new feature on YouTube where you can hype videos. So be sure to like the video, hype the video. It helps out a lot. Appreciate you.
I traveled the country for years. I spent millions of my own money. I missed precious time with my family that I can never get back. And I showed up in places like outside the New York courthouse in Collect Pond Park against a raging leftist mob as Trump faced Democrat lawfare. Meanwhile, most of the establishment Republicans who secretly hate him and who stabbed him in the back and never defended him against anything have all been welcomed in right after the election. Through it all, I never changed or went back on my campaign promises and only disagreed in a few areas, like my stance against H-1Bs replacing American jobs, AI state moratoriums, debt for life 50-year mortgage scams, standing strongly against all involvement in foreign wars, and demanding the release of the Epstein files. Other than that, my voting record has been solidly with my party and the president. Loyalty should be a two-way street, and we should be able to vote our conscience and represent our district's interests because our job title is literally representative. America first should mean America first and only Americans first, with no other foreign country ever being attached to America first in our halls of government. And my true convictions remain unchanged because my self-worth is not defined by a man, but instead by God who created everything in existence. You see, I have never valued power, titles, or attention in spite of all the wrong assumptions about me. And I have fought against Democrats' damaging policies like the Green New Deal, wide open, deadly, unsafe border policies, and the trans agenda on children and against women. With that has brought years of non-stop, never-ending personal attacks, death threats, lawfare, ridiculous slander and lies about me that most people could never withstand even for a single day. It has been unfair and wrong, not only to me, but especially to my family, but it's been wrong to my district as well. I have too much self-respect and dignity. I love my family way too much, and I do not want my sweet district to have to endure a hurtful and hateful primary against me by the president that we all fought for, only to fight and win my election while Republicans will likely lose the midterms, and in turn be expected to defend the president against impeachment after he hatefully dumped tens of millions of dollars against me and tried to destroy me. It's all so absurd and completely unserious. I refuse to be a battered wife, hoping it all goes away and gets better. If I am cast aside by the president and the MAGA political machine and replaced by neocons, big pharma, big tech, military-industrial war complex, foreign leaders, and the elite donor class that can never ever relate to real Americans, then many common Americans have been cast aside and replaced as well. Until then, I'm going back to the people that I love, to live my life to the fullest as I always have, and I look forward to a new path ahead. I'll be resigning from office with my last day being January 5th, 2026, and I look forward to seeing many of you again sometime in the future. May God bless you all, and may God bless America.
So Marjorie Taylor Greene is basically whining here about politics being divisive, about having undying loyalty to the party, her convictions, and the current president, but then speaking out against certain things, basically causing too much backlash in her life. And now she's kind of running away like a big baby rather than standing behind those convictions, it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense unless she has some sort of alternative plan, such as running for president, running for governor, something, I don't know, getting a role on The View. I don't freaking know what the heck this lady is trying to do.
A lot of people wanted me to come on the show and say nasty things and all of us to fight. They wanted all of us to fight.
Thank you for not doing.
She says she's just going to spend time with family, but I think that she's too much of an attention, for me to believe that she's just going to stand back and not do anything else that involves her being in the limelight. And yes, I'm well aware that she has construction companies in her family, so she could just be working on that, but she was already doing that before she really got into politics. So I just don't buy that she's just going to go back to do that run away with her tail between her legs and run away from a fight. She just doesn't really seem like the type to run away from fights. And she's been on so many left-wing shows these days. I got a feeling that she's planning something much bigger. Maybe she's planning on having a 2028 Kamala Harris, Marjorie Taylor Greene run. And no, I don't mean that she's going to run with Kamala Harris. I mean Kamala on the Democrat side, if she could manage to win a primary, which I doubt. And then Marjorie Taylor Greene on the Republican side, maybe she hopes she'll get lucky. Wouldn't that be something? If Marjorie Taylor Greene managed to beat Byron Donalds, Vivek Ramaswamy, J.D. Vance, Rubio, Ted Cruz is probably going to run again, Chris Christie's probably going to run again, Bird Brain, Nikki Haley, who we haven't heard a dang thing from in like a year. No, you're not going to win, Marjorie. I'm sorry. But I want to show you guys what X looks like because a lot of people were roasting her. I was dying when I saw this. Is why I made this video, because I was dying when I saw that they posted the President Trump McDonald's way. That is brutal, man. And somebody says this is the future. This was your future, so you quit before it happened. Absolutely. Marjorie Taylor Greene, I do respect some of the values that she had, but I think that she was way off. And I think that, honestly, in my opinion, she's kind of out of line for speaking out against President Trump, working heavily with foreign nations. You cannot survive. That's almost the most important thing for the president to do in order to secure the safety of the nation that we're in, is to make sure that we're good with the other nations and that there's not a whole bunch of chaos and carnage going on with the other nations, because all of that stuff will easily find its way to your shores. Case in point, a lot of those people leaving their countries came from countries that were unstable so that they come into America. You stabilize the countries, a little bit less likely that they'll come into America, and you get rid of a bunch of the entitlement programs here, then they get no benefit to coming here. So it all makes sense in the grand scheme of things. So Marjorie Taylor Greene kind of didn't know what the hell she was talking about in terms of that. They're basically comparing her to Liz Cheney because things went a certain way in her personal life. So now all of a sudden could I see Marjorie Taylor Greene going the way of the Democrats? I mean, at this point, I don't know what the hell that she would do. It wouldn't surprise me, honestly, because at one point you probably couldn't see Liz Cheney going with the Democrats, and yet here she is. Somebody says here, so you're going to run for president, which I also thought. That's why you see I already had given it a heart, because I called it way before she decided to leave office. There is some people who think, well, why would she run for president? Why wouldn't she just stay in office and she can just kind of get clout from being a current Congress member? Well, because now she has even more time to be on left-wing shows. She literally went on The View
And so gaslighting the people and trying to tell them that prices have come down is not helping. It's actually infuriating people, because people know what they're paying at the grocery store. They know what they're paying for their kids' clothes and school supplies. They know what they're paying for their electricity bills.
So the fact that she went on there, to me, this woman's no good. I hear what she's saying, guys, but I'm put it this way. Do I trust that things will be better under Trump? Do I trust Trump like as a person? Not really. But do I trust that he's the best for America? Absolutely. Do I trust Marjorie Taylor Greene as a person or being good for America or even the state of Georgia? Absolutely not, because she's too much of a flip-flop pollywop in terms of how she's moving. Here's another one, Quiet Piggy. These people are ruthless. They're ruthless for that. I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna go ahead and get that one a heart. It is what it is. And this is one of the ones I agree with the most. I've disagreed with you quite a bit. Agreed. That said, I wish you would stay if for no other reason than standing for your convictions is not something you see in your party or our government. Absolutely. It's okay. You're going to say, well, I fought for a long time, but I'm tired of fighting now. Like, guys, like, it just doesn't. It doesn't make you look strong. Some people might act like, you've dealt with a lot, but let's face it, if you're public facing in government, especially in today's political climate, I mean, Charlie Kirk got killed over it. I'm sure a lot of people, when they speak out, are getting death threats, and the president speaks out against him. Like Lindsey Graham he was against the president at one point. So, lots of people get smacked by President Trump because you speak out against him first. There's ways you could have approached things maybe a little bit less publicly. Marjorie Taylor Greene went out of her way to publicly talk trash about President Trump and about how he's not doing America first and all of this stuff. So if you felt that way, you could have hit him up in private. You could have worked internally. You could have did all sorts of stuff, but still had that united front. But you went out on a bunch of shows all over TV, basically causing some voters to be, like a lot of voters to be against him, people that supported him, and kind of changing the public perception of him openly and intentionally. And I think that's why President Trump got on your ass. So to try to play victim now is just gaslighting to the maximum power. Speaking on CNN, crying to CNN, none of that stuff makes any sense. So I think that this lady is literally lying. And even though I respect a lot of other stuff that she's claiming to stand up for, lying is not one of those things that I respect at all. And I think that she's lying to me and to everyone watching, and that now she's trying to play the victim here, and she's absolutely going to come back asking for something based off of this sympathy. Oh, I was attacked by MAGA, but now I'm back and I'm trying to, do something bigger and better than ever before. Trust me, trust and believe, mark my word, is going to happen. But these are just my thoughts, guys. Let me know what you guys think. Drop a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. I appreciate you guys watching the Black Anomaly Rising channel. I'm out.
No hope for a future?
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.